we have to bring in another quarterback this week?
We'd like to. We just don't know.
Yo, hey, would that not be the craziest thing in the draft, Rich?
What's that?
49ers trade up, take Shedeur Sanders, let Brock Purdy walk and tell him, kiss that $60 million goodbye. What would y'all do if that happened?
I mean,
what if the 49ers said, Brock Purdy, we're not giving you $60 million. We're trading up and taking Shedeur. That'd be crazy. Like that'll flip the draft.
The NFL just got rocked all over again. The 49ers, a squad everyone thought was cruising smooth with Brock Purdy steering the ship, are suddenly scrambling like folks rushing to grab flashlights before a blackout. Instead of calm waters, they're moving frantic, making calls and checking every option on the quarterback market like their season depends on it. And at the very top of that emergency list, none other than Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, let that sink in. Shedeur. This ain't just some wild rumor floating around. This is the type of breaking news that makes fans choke on wings mid-bite and wonder if the league just flipped into overdrive overnight.
Had 3 teams. So y'all ain't noticed this come from the inside. Somebody on the inside is sick of the Browns themselves. 3 teams asked for Shedeur. They want to train him. They want to start him. You know what the Browns did? Nope. We gonna keep him. Nope. See, that's the devil. But let me tell you one thing. God said you will release.
The NFL just woke up like it rolled out of bed and realized the quarterback market turned into a full-blown Black Friday brawl. Teams out here elbowing each other, scrambling for the last hot item on the shelf, and somehow that prized item is none other than Shedeur Sanders. It's madness, like a clearance sale where the whole crowd forgot how to act. Patience, development, careful planning, forget all that noise. Right now, it's pure panic mode. All because Brock Purdy coughed too loud and the 49ers started looking around like they were haunted by the ghost of Jimmy Garoppolo himself.
It's been fun to watch. It's been really cool. You never know how it's going to work out with them just going there and the whole transfer rules and stuff, which I don't even understand. Hopefully I won't ever have to. You don't know how it's going to work, but he's just fun to watch. Just everyone being such a fan of him growing up and then how cool he is now. But really what made it real was just watching their first game. We didn't have, that was a week before we started, and I was actually just hanging out at the house and I got to watch them versus TCU. And to watch how their team played was the coolest thing. I mean, everyone knows how cool Dion is. We always talk about the silent tape and how a team looks, and to watch those dudes come out and battle and how hard they play.
1 minute Brock Purdy was their golden ticket, the miracle kid, the savior of decades worth of quarterback flops. He was the poster boy for everything finally going right in San Francisco. Then bam, he's sidelined. And just like that, the 49ers are stranded in the middle of the quarterback aisle at Walmart, looking lost like someone who ran out for milk and forgot what they even came for. And sitting right at the end of that aisle, Shedeur Sanders, wrapped up like a brand new PlayStation, untouched, sparkling with promise, still giving off that fresh, next big thing energy. Everyone's pointing like, yo, that's the one. Snatch him quick before Miami grabs him first.
Is trying to use Shedeur to finish building their stadium. That's what it is. And make it make sense. Why? To me, like I told y'all at first, if I don't want nothing, I send it to the Goodwill, get rid of it, or give it to somebody who wants it. You don't want Shedeur, let him go.
Let's be real. The 49ers live for chaos. They can't just line up, play ball, and keep it simple. Nah, they gotta turn every season into a full-blown soap opera. Every decision feels like it's scripted for max drama, like they've got Hollywood producers in the front office instead of coaches. And now with Shedeur Sanders being thrown into the conversation, it's not just football anymore, it's Bay Area entertainment. This is basically Season 3 of Quarterbacks Gone Wild, San Francisco edition, and the cameras haven't even started rolling yet.
This isn't news right here I want to be seeing from my San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy could potentially miss multiple weeks with a toe and shoulder injury per Kyle Shanahan. Purdy didn't practice today, and he's considered a long shot to play this weekend against the New Orleans Saints. And who's our QB number 2? Mac Jones. Now I want you to comment down below right now, Faithful. How confident are you in Mac Jones getting the job done to beat the New Orleans Saints this Sunday? Now I'm looking at our odds on Kalshi right now, and everybody still got us as favorites to beat the New Orleans Saints at a 62%.
And you already know the fans are going crazy over this. Half of San Francisco is camped outside Levi's Stadium waving glitter-covered signs with Shedeur's name like it's a pop concert. The other half? Acting like Trey Lance never even existed, scrubbing memories clean like he was just a bad date. Because that's the 49ers way. When it comes to quarterbacks, it's nothing but speed dating vibes. Swipe left, swipe right, swipe Purdy, swipe Lance. Now it's swipe Sanders, because why not? But here's the wild question. Why Shedeur and why right now? How does a rookie who's not even running scout team in Cleveland suddenly get treated like he's the chosen savior of San Francisco? The Browns front office keeps throwing out lines like, no, we love Shedeur. He's part of the future. He's definitely in the plans. But if he's really their guy, why is he kept off the field? No real reps, no live snaps, nowhere near the action. Please, they want people to stop asking the tough questions. And the craziest twist? Bailey Zappi, yes, that Bailey Zappi, is the one running scout team drills, while Shedeur is just stuck holding a clipboard, watching from the sidelines like a bystander at his own show.
Actually true. He wasn't getting proper reps. He wasn't being utilized for the stature of the player that he is. Even if you think he's a fifth rounder or not, we all know the stature of Shedeur Sanders. I mean, I can talk to you haters. You're watching this video right now. You're watching a news story on Shedeur Sanders right now, but you claim he's no good. You claim and discuss he's not wanted, but you're watching him right now. That's my total point of why he is the stature of what he is. But let's continue with this article. So it goes further and says Shedeur Sanders apparently is throwing not to receivers, but to equipment guys.
That's not suspicious at all, right? It's like showing up to a family reunion and seeing the so-called favorite kid stuck babysitting the coats while the random neighbor gets to sit at the head of the table carving the turkey like he owns the place. The whole setup screams shady, and nobody's buying the excuse. But sure, Cleveland, keep telling us this is all part of some grand plan. Fans aren't fools. They know better. They see through the fake talk about being cautious. Please. Everyone can smell when there's trade smoke in the air, and this one reeks. Why else would you sideline the supposed future of your franchise while hyping up a quarterback who was barely even an afterthought signing? That's not just questionable, it's a neon sign flashing bright red. Trade loading. And to make it worse, the guy they're giving chances to can't even hold on to the football. Fans are booing him so hard it feels like open mic night at the worst comedy club in town. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is suddenly looking like the ultimate emergency solution, the golden ticket just waiting to be claimed. Miami fans, they're already losing it. They've got Photoshop mock-ups of Shedeur in a Dolphins jersey flying all over social media, with heated comment sections acting like the deal is already official. Never mind that Cleveland hasn't signed off on anything. Dolphins Nation is treating this rumor like a Target clearance sale. First come, first serve, and they're yelling, "Snatch him before San Francisco does."
I know I'm a Cowboys fan, but I ain't gonna lie, I've been keeping up with the Browns way more than I've been keeping up with the Cowboys because of Shedeur. And I ain't gonna lie, the Browns gonna be my secondary team this year, and I can't stress this enough, because of Shedeur. But with that being said, you know, sometimes I catch myself as a Cowboys fan coming off as ungrateful, because it's underwhelming as we perform in the playoffs. We still in the playoffs, and I just feel so bad for Browns fans.
Let's swing it back to Cleveland, because this drama is way too juicy to skip. Ownership is head over heels for Shedeur, completely sold on him. Jimmy Haslam is out here acting like he's ready to legally adopt the kid, bragging to anyone who'll listen. That's our future, that's our guy, that's the quarterback who's taking us to glory. He's basically building shrines to Shedeur before the kid even takes the field. But then you peek at the coaching staff, and it's a whole different vibe. They're whispering, "Yeah, cool story, boss, but we'd rather hand scout team reps to Bailey Zapp." That's not just dysfunction, it's straight-up comedy. That's like dropping big money on a Ferrari and then letting it collect dust in the garage while you cruise around town in a 2005 Honda Civic with one headlight out. The thing is, the noise won't stay quiet forever. The pressure is going to hit a boiling point, and Cleveland will eventually have to unleash him. But here's the dangerous twist. If they don't, they're setting themselves up to look like the biggest clowns in the league, because only two paths exist. Either they waste Shedeur's talent while the team sinks into mediocrity, or they ship him off in a trade and watch him turn into a superstar somewhere else. And honestly, both scenarios feel painfully on brand for the Browns.
Number 2 role? Oh, honestly, bro, I really don't look into that. I don't care. Whenever it's time for me to get out there and play, I'm going to play. Whenever it's time for the lights to come on, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not concerned about when it is. I'm not concerned about, how many reps I'm getting at this point. Is what it is, because I know when the lights come on, when everything go on, when the pressure's on, you know who I am. And I'm always be that way.
Every possible outcome in this saga screams chaos. No matter how it plays out, the headlines write themselves, and it makes you wonder, has Shedeur Sanders somehow become the most powerful man in the NFL without even throwing a single pass? Just whispering his name turns entire fan bases into conspiracy junkies, connecting dots that don't even exist. Cleveland fans are divided like never before, half screaming, "He's our savior, don't trade him!" While the other half groans, "He's wasting away, set him free." Out west, 49ers fans are practically drafting him love letters, while down in Miami, Dolphins fans are already fantasizing about a bronze statue of him outside Hard Rock Stadium before he's even signed a deal. At this point, Shedeur could stroll into any team facility with a football tucked under his arm, and fans would literally be ready to roll out red carpets and toss rose petals at his feet. But here's the cold truth. This is the NFL, and it's cutthroat. One wrong throw, one off game, and you're yesterday's forgotten story. Dolphins Nation is so thirsty for success, they'd probably crown him King of Florida after his first touchdown, and then torch his jersey in the parking lot if he tosses one interception. Cleveland, San Francisco, Miami, 3 cities, 3 different brands of chaos, all orbiting around one rookie quarterback who hasn't even had a real shot yet. And that's the craziest part. The guy hasn't been given scout team reps, hasn't been allowed to run even the most basic practice drills, and yet he's somehow the centerpiece of half the league's future plans. Only in the NFL could this level of delusion look normal, and right now, it's running the show.
Them then. Cleveland Browns, just trade them. Just trade them. And again, bro, I could be wrong. It could be a bust, whatever. But he's bringing something positive to your franchise. That's all he's doing. Shedeur. I don't know what this. It's just this hate. This forced hate is crazy, dog. It's a crazy thing to see how much forced hate they are doing with this kid. He was not in the news. He was not in trouble. He was not.
Just wait until Thanksgiving. It's going to be wild. By then, Cleveland will either be drowning their mashed potatoes in tears because they shipped Shedeur away, or they'll be dancing around the table celebrating that he finally rescued them from years of football misery. Meanwhile, San Francisco will either be parading him through the streets like a miracle dropped from the heavens, or trying to explain why they thought mortgaging the future for a rookie they never even used was somehow a good idea. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback anymore. He's a full-blown storyline, a living headline, a franchise-altering gamble that's got entire fan bases frothing at the mouth like they're waiting for the next episode of a cliffhanger drama. And here's the kicker that makes this whole saga even juicier. No matter what path unfolds, Shedeur Sanders walks away a winner. Think about it. If he stays in Cleveland and they finally unleash him, he instantly becomes the hero who dragged a historically cursed franchise out of its own incompetence. But if he gets traded to San Francisco, then he transforms overnight into the hand-picked golden child of Kyle Shanahan, the so-called quarterback whisperer who once made Nick Mullins look like he actually belonged on an NFL field.
Try to make the case for why Kyle might like Shedeur.
I would like.
He likes Mac. He likes Mac, and Mac isn't the most mobile quarterback. Shedeur, he may freelance a little bit, but he's not that mobile. And he's not as mobile as Cam Ward or even Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He says he models his game after Tom Brady. Hey, don't we all? But I think the way he talks and like the way he operates is kind of up Kyle's alley. He tries to throw with touch. He tries to throw with anticipation. He tries to win from the pocket. Those are things Kyle likes. He'd be cheap. He doesn't have to be elite. Just be on a rookie deal. And if you get Shedeur, and you could trade Brock to the Steelers for the 21st pick, then you can get a defensive lineman in round 1.
And if Shedeur Sanders lands in Miami, he instantly becomes the chosen one. In a city that's been starving for a real quarterback savior since Dan Marino was rocking those perms, the hype would hit levels nobody's ready for. Down there, he literally cannot lose. Throw interceptions, and the fans won't care. They'll point fingers at the coaches, the O-line, the humidity, even the traffic jams back in Cleveland. Any excuse but him. Shedeur is living out the NFL version of plot armor, and the league is riding the wave because it makes for blockbuster television. Now just picture this. It's Sunday night, primetime, the whole world locked in. Shedeur walks out in a 49ers jersey, lining up behind Trent Williams like it was destiny. The commentators are already screaming. The cameras zoom tight on Deion Sanders, wiping away a proud father tear from his luxury box seat. And the fans? They're chanting Shedeur's name so loud, the stadium feels like it's shaking before he even takes a single snap. Meanwhile, Brock Purdy's probably sitting at home icing that elbow, scrolling Twitter, and realizing he just got Wally-pipped by a rookie who wasn't even running scout team a week ago. That's not just losing your job. That's losing it to a guy who practically skipped practice, yet still managed to become the hottest quarterback commodity in the entire league. And Miami might be even funnier. Imagine Dolphins fans, who've spent years begging Tua to figure it out, suddenly handed their wish in the form of Shedeur Sanders. The honeymoon phase would be beyond insane, like a love affair between a city and its newest star before he's even settled in.
It's a long shot that Brock Purdy plays in Week 2 against the New Orleans Saints. That's what Kyle Shanahan said on Wednesday. He also added that this could be a multi-week injury to his toe. Not really turf toe, but something happened as he was running out of bounds on Sunday against the Seahawks. This is concerning. You have Mac Jones. He's a really great QB too. But after Mac Jones, who do you have? Adrian Martinez, who has never taken a snap in the National Football League. The two quarterbacks that they had during preseason, Tanner Mordecai and Carter Bradley, they aren't even on the roster. They took every other preseason snap that wasn't taken by
Shedeur could throw for just 90 yards and a single touchdown, and Miami would act like he just solved traffic on I-95 forever. Local diners would be renaming sandwiches after him overnight. The mayor would be out there declaring Shedeur Day with parades, and ESPN would spend 2 straight weeks arguing if he's already better than Marino. But the flip side, one bad throw, one overthrow, one interception, and boom! The same fans who were ready to build him a statue are suddenly hurling his jersey straight into the Atlantic Ocean like it never existed. Meanwhile, the chaos inside the franchise just keeps bubbling. Ownership is saying one thing, coaches are saying another, and the fan base is flat out losing patience by the week. Shedeur himself must be sitting there wondering if he's stuck in some kind of NFL purgatory, caught in the middle of a power struggle that feels bigger than football. It's not just messy, it's Shakespeare on turf. Fans are in open revolt, chants are getting louder, pressure's climbing higher, and every game he doesn't play just makes the tension explode. And here's the cold reality. When it's ownership versus the coaching staff in a tug of war, ownership usually wins. Because billionaires don't like hearing the word no, and billionaire NFL owners, they like it even less.
I mean, Baker Mayfield had a DUI and still got a Heisman. Like a public DUI, like a known thing, and we put it under the rug, no problem. Again, we are not perfect. We are not issued, but it's like they are like really trying to gut this kid's spirit, bruh. I'm going off what I just saw from the owner, and it's like, it doesn't even need to be said. He didn't even have to say nothing. Like, they asked him, like, I didn't make that decision. I would have said no, I wouldn't pick him. Why are you even talking about it? I didn't even see the owner before until now. Like, they're really trying hard to blackball this kid and make him seem like he's like one of the most cancerous players ever.
If you're Kevin Stefanski right now, the clock is ticking loud and clear. The leash is getting tighter with every awkward post-game interview, every vague line about tough decisions, every excuse for why Shedeur isn't even running scout team reps. Fans are filing all of that away like evidence, and ownership, they're watching too, ready for the moment when patience snaps. And trust me, when it happens, it won't be quiet. It'll be loud, ugly, and very, very public. But let's zoom out, because this saga goes way beyond Cleveland, San Francisco, or Miami. What we're watching unfold is the birth of the NFL's next mega storyline. One player with the power to reshape multiple franchises without even stepping on the field. It's like the league collectively said, we need drama, we need chaos, we need a lightning rod. And Shedeur just happened to be standing in the perfect spot at the perfect time. Right now, Shedeur Sanders is basically the NFL's version of Bitcoin. Everybody wants a piece. Nobody can agree on his exact value, but they're all convinced he's the future. San Francisco wants him to swoop in and save the season. Miami wants him to wipe away decades of frustration and become their long-lost savior. And Cleveland, they just want him to sit quietly until they figure out if they even know what they're doing. That's 3 different stock markets all fighting over the same asset, and it's only getting wilder by the day.
I played real well. We had a number of things we had to change up. It was a big deal losing Juice there early in the game, especially with Kittle out, just the stuff we had to do with other tight ends. So we were scrambling there for a little bit, trying to figure some things out. Thought he handled the situation well. Thought he delivered the ball real well. Obviously would like to have that fumble back. Hopefully we can get rid of it a little earlier. It didn't look like anyone was really open though. But I thought he did a hell of a job.
Now picture this. Thanksgiving weekend, you're sitting down with a plate stacked full of turkey, the Browns are on TV, and suddenly there he is, Shedeur Sanders, finally starting under center. The announcers are practically foaming at the mouth, the crowd is going wild, and social media is exploding with hot takes flying in every direction about whether this was genius or disaster. It's not just a debut. It's a full-blown spectacle, the moment everyone's been waiting for. And here's the twist. If it goes well, Cleveland fans will be absolutely unbearable, acting like the curse is broken and a dynasty just started overnight. But if it doesn't, if Shedeur looks shaky, struggles, or comes out flat, the memes will be ruthless. The same voices crowning him, the next Patrick Mahomes will be roasting him as the second coming of Jamarcus Russell before dessert is even served. That's the madness of it. He's not just a rookie, he's a storyline the NFL refuses to stop milking. And until this saga finally gets its resolution, we're all just strapped in for the ride. Whether he's in San Francisco trying to save the 49ers, in Miami stepping in as the Dolphins' miracle, or in Cleveland finally unleashed on the big stage, the only guarantee is chaos. It's going to be hilarious, dramatic, and unforgettable. And the wildest part? We're talking about a guy who still hasn't even been trusted to run the scout team. Only in the NFL could this level of madness make perfect sense. So don't just watch. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share it with your crew, and subscribe for more drama straight out the league's craziest storyline.